Welcome to Music Life Social and the Music Life Social podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Raheem, in the building.
What it is General Mills salute, signature styles. You know what it is.
You know what's going on? It's Robert aka Mr. Popular, signature styles representing MLS, Music Life Social. We in here.
What's happening? This is G Wiz representing MLS. What we do.
Word. We got a very special guest in the building with us tonight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All the way from Auburn, Alabama, representing, you know what I'm saying? He's putting it down, genre blending of hip hop and anime,
right?
Type of storytelling or whatnot. And I want to introduce no other. SkyBlew is in the
Blue. What's good? What's good, boss? What's good? Yo, appreciate you.
Thank y'all for having me.
You know what I'm saying? From the general, of course, you know what I'm saying? I do the music thing myself. So, you know, big salute in the anime. You know, we all artists at heart. So,
right.
SkyBlew.
Yeah, so, you know what I'm saying? You shared the stage with Kendrick Lamar, Lupe Fiasco, Slick Rick. So you've been doing your thing for a good minute, man.
Yeah, like
it's been a minute, you know.
Cool, man. So give the people a brief background about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Alabama, Auburn, Alabama, and I was in and out of as a kid, in and out of foster home and everything like that. I ain't trying to no sad story. Now I was just giving you a little backstory. In and out of foster homes and stuff like that. And then as I got out of that, you know, got introduced to my family and stuff, and ended up moving to North Carolina. And maybe like 2007, and after that, you know, that's when my music journey really started. So, and but before that, I was, you know, kind of like writing little songs here and there, and then I was mainly freestyling, and I was like battling at the lunch table at school and stuff like that, and from there, you know, it's been a whole my life is unmodern. I got an album named SkyBlew's Unmodern. Like my life has been unmodern, so I'm really scratching the surface as a quick little synopsis of what they expect on this crazy story that I got. But that's just a quick little backstory about me. So I was homeless for a little while, and you know, music was always my escape. So, you know, that was like an escape for me. So I would, you know, kind of like, you know, almost in like zone out in a way, you know, it just as a way to escape from like my situations. Cause even when I was in Alabama before that, it was just crazy, you know. So I was in different neighborhoods where, you know, friends was dying and going to jail, you know, the typical, but, you know, parts of environment kind of thing. And, you know, my dad was like, yeah, we got to get you away from here after my grandma died. And then that's when we moved to North Carolina. And then from there, things were crazy. And then, you know, I was from there, I was homeless for a while. And then I ended up getting adopted by my mom, Jackie Parrish and stuff. And from there, I was doing music from there, you know, and it's, you know, rest is history in the making, you know, as it's still going on, but you know.
So what part of North Carolina did you move to once you got out of once you moved from once you relocated?
Chapel Hill.
Oh, Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay. Is that blue in is North Carolina any influence on the blue on your name? You know,
it was like I looked at it like destiny because I always loved blue. You know, dudes usually like blue, but I really always like gravitate to blue things even as a kid, you know. And when I got to North Carolina, I was like, oh man, we got Tar Heels, Carolina Blues, we got Duke Blue Devils. I was like, oh, this is home.
That's what I was about to say. So being that, you know, we sports heads over here too. So which blue you rep, the Tar Heels or the Blue Devils?
Blue Devils.
Oh man, you hurt my. Don't.
I know I got this Carolina blue on, but that's totally coincidental.
Carolina blue, yeah.
You know, this is a sky blue. That's how I look at it.
I see the anime posters, man, on your wall in the back, man. Tell me, how did you and why did you start including anime in your music and your storytelling?
Yeah, because I see you as an artist and you was doing some art, but yeah, give us a little backing on that.
Okay, word. Well, anime was like when I was in foster homes, like I said, anime was like an escape. Music was, but anime was escape, and cartoons and comics and things like that, and video games. But anime specifically because I remember coming home from school and Toonami was on, and that really introduced me to anime. But it wasn't just anime. The dialogue that Tom, the robot, if people remember, or people watching back will know Tom, like the robot, he would be like the host of Toonami, and
I know
he
what
was
you're
just
talking about. Toonami. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he would do like dialogues about like life and hope and dreams. It was really, and it stuck with me. And I was just like,
Yeah.
I didn't realize as a kid, this was like kind of some of the only guidance I was getting. And like,
Crazy.
it was from that. And then watching those animes, and it was like a lot of parallels to I see it now as I get older and as experience life a little more, that a lot of times growing up, I was like really showing, like it was like God was like showing me parallels of things I was going through, and I was watching it back, and I just didn't process it because I was younger. But
Yeah,
I just knew I gravitated to it, and as I get older, like, oh snap, I was seeing parallels of different situations in my life being presented in front of me. It's kind of crazy. And then as you got older, of course, loving it and stuff, and it ain't just like at school, it was kind of it's like popular now, but at one time it was just like looked down
Frowned
on to be
upon.
like, oh, you like anime, you like cartoon, you still like cartoons. I was like, bro, but they
Yu-Gi-Oh
fight
cards and all
though.
that stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, we was in the hood. I was like, you like fighting? They be fighting though. And then, but that ain't how they saw it, So but like it was, it's like a lot of like outcasts, and they would go to different classrooms during lunch, and they was reading anime and reading mangas and stuff like that. So I was like related with them, and I was like, when I get like as I'm doing more music, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just do it. And first, I was starting to incorporate it in my music as like kind of like just a couple bars here and there. But
So how was you incorporating it? Like, so I write bars and all that. So when you say incorporating it, what would you like? So what, like the certain characters, experiences, or like how was you incorporating the anime into the music?
So the way I was like a bar about it, it would be like maybe like I'm like, oh, like Goku, like you call me Goku, don't hear what they saying, man, and stuff like that. So I was just throw like little bars here and there, and
Okay,
then over time it started to be like, okay, let me see how can I flip this, opposed to just saying I'm Goku or I'm this person like this, or like how can I get a bar about this that's relatable, and but for the people that know it, be like, oh, okay, that was clever, and then that evolved to like, all right, now I'm gonna make a whole song about this anime or this specific theme going on in anime and make it relatable to the real world. But
right,
it's like it's like a metaphor, or it's like double entendre for the people that know it. They'd be like, oh, I get it. But then the people that don't know it, they still can relate to it too as
right.
well. And then before you know, I started building my own thing, my own characters, my own universe. But that's later. We'll get into that. But yeah, that's how I started doing that with the anime thing. And I used
Nice.
to draw it too.
Yeah.
In school, I was drawing Dragon Ball Z characters and stuff like that.
So you nice with the pen? You can draw like. Do you do a lot of your cover art or what?
A lot of the cover art is actually my girl Ivy Okami and stuff, and she helps me with a lot of stuff. So she draws and she paints and stuff like that. But now she do
Okay,
digital stuff, and she's doing animation now too. So we do a lot of stuff in home as well. So she's like
nice.
a mad scientist, an artist, an assistant, all kind of stuff. So, but I do draw it. It's been a while, but I used to actually fully do it. But I started doing other stuff, and I
Right.
actually make my own comics too. But like not press them up. I would literally draw comics. This is like I only said this like one other time, so it's still kind of like maybe exclusive to some people. But
Right.
like I would draw my own comics, and I would draw the boxes, I would draw the characters, I would do the little
Right. The
speech bubbles,
dialogue.
had them scream the attack out and stuff like that, and I'll print
Nice.
them, print them on.
Nice.
I mean, I'll staple them on the side and stuff like that. So yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. Your mantra, which I really it kind of struck with me when you said, "I don't rap, I paint the sky blue."
Yeah.
And I'm just taking it, just from the outside looking in. Is that like being what you've gone through? Like I think it's like spreading positivity.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah, absolutely. And like it started as like that's like the it's at the forefront of what that represents is like painting the sky blue of like, people like for me, one of the things is I've never been a fan of storms. I think they suck. So I was like, I like the blue sky. It just made me feel better. It just more optimism. And
Right.
so I was like, those storms, as I got older, I realized those storms was like a metaphorical thing. And I was like, oh, like that represents something much darker, and it puts me in the bad headspace and stuff. So there's a lot of people that can relate to that. So I want my music to be the equivalent of you press play and it just like pushes that storm away, those gray clouds go away, the blue skies come in. So like metaphorical, but also in the music universe, which I'm expanding on. That's a whole thing where that's a real kind of like sci-fi concept where I got music that I can do that, like the paintings can actually change the landscapes in real time. But that's a whole other thing.
Nice,
Get into
nice,
that.
nice, nice.
Your creativity jumps out to me in your music. Was there a particular group that you followed that inspired you, or a particular generation of hip hop that you listen to that inspired you to this day?
Yeah, because I was just telling my partner, I seen you had wig on in one joint. I seen you had a mask on. You had a mask on in another joint. So I was like, yeah. So you're creative. Yeah. You know, I just
Hey,
want.
appreciate it. Yeah, I'm inspired by a lot of different artists and stuff. Like you'll be surprised. Well, some of the main people you won't be surprised about, but other influences is like I would get into that. But my original influence that I was growing up on, but I just know I appreciated it. But when I got older, I understood like, oh, that's why I liked them. Was like, like Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Common, Diggable Planets, Nas, and things like that. And like,
Wait, where you from? You from Alabama? Okay, yeah. I'm about to say, hold up, yeah, all right, yeah. All the right answers. Yeah.
That's the pioneers, man, for sure. Like they're timeless classic music I can turn on to this day and still like never get tired of it. And but then there was also people like Tupac. Yeah, like my stepdad was growing. I would come home after school. He's playing Me Against the World every day, washing the car. Like I just these things that I remember before I went to foster care. So things like that. My mom playing like Sade, SWV, Anita Baker. Over time, it was end up being like New Jabez, rest in peace. He's an amazing producer. If y'all know him, a Japanese producer. It's a lot of Little Brother. It's all kind of. I'm inspired by like Michael Jackson. It's a lot of different artists that inspire me. Amy Winehouse, rest in peace. It's a lot of different artists that I'm inspired by. That's why my sound is so diverse. And like from jazz, blues, soul, like drum and bass. It's like electronic. Different styles.
That's what's up, man. Now, as far as anime and everything goes, man, do you use it to escape from reality, or do you include it into the reality of your music and your experiences of the world or whatnot?
Interesting question. I'm gonna tell you now, as for people that as who gonna be watching back, like my supporters, my fam, the Colorful Dreamers, they gonna know that I kind of got this thing going on where like it's like my universe I built is like it's built in mystery. It's different concepts and themes and stuff. So a lot of things now I may answer in a certain way, and it might not make sense, but I may be dropping some little clues, hints where they got to solve all this. I built a universe where they got to theorize about and stuff like that. So yeah, it's like an escape for me, but it's also like I got a thing where I'm doing like rhythm escapism, where like when you listen to the music, you can. That's like the picture. I painted a picture of like when I was doing poetry, like my after school poetry teacher, Miss Lockhart, she would tell me that my poem I should stop trying to get in trouble and focus more on poems, because when I wrote, she was like, you can really write and I can visualize what you're saying. And same for my grandma, rest in peace. So it was a thing where the paintings were like more than just it was like these are more than just words. Like, yeah, you could just say a few bars, but when you really think about it, you can put something together, a story that somebody can like fully visualize. And that's a part of painting SkyBlew as well. And that's the same thing anime did for me. So I was like, okay, cool. It'll be the same thing with the music, where it'll be like I incorporate this anime, but it's an escape for me, but it's an escape for them too, because I'm creating my own characters, my own universe, my own concepts, and the way things work together and how they react. Like certain things in the music world may affect the physical world and vice versa. And how I process that would determine how the songs turn out. I'm saying a lot. A lot of this is exclusive, actually.
No, that sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds like you really like real intricate with how you're trying to create it. So with that being said, do you write like in most of your songs in like story type style songs? Like a lot of people be like that not genre, but you know, the vibe of people telling stories is like kind of obsolete. People don't really be like telling stories. Are you telling stories? Because you know, with the anime, it's kind of like a story. It kind of continues. You to be continued. This and that. Things happen or whatever. So, how are most of your songs in the storytelling type style, or what?
Yeah, it's like so I do it like in a way where you can still enjoy it outside of the story, like a lot, especially my last few albums, like Battle for the Universe, Universal Journey, Keys of Life, Soulful Taste of Jazz, Destiny of Realization, stuff like that. Those are albums where each song you can listen to it out of context of the album, and you can still enjoy them. But if you listen to it in the context of the album, because it's stories, and I write a lot of the stories in Bandcamp. Every song has like in the description, especially over the last few albums, it's got lore and story pieces, like maybe a couple paragraphs long, and it's expanding on the story that's in the song and
Mm,
cohesively the whole album of a story. So I write songs in the sense of like, all right, this song may be a story, and but this song might be just a regular cool song that just that's a song about something. But you may
right.
hear little nuggets that's like, wait a minute, when they hear that line, they might be like, oh snap, that's a hint towards as they trying to solve the story of the universe and how they connect. But it's a universe, so a lot of these albums are connectors, but you can listen to them outside of it. But if you are trying to follow a story, you know, it's as part of the escapism, like anime, you'd be like, oh, I need to kind of try to solve this. And that gives them escapism from doom scrolling all day and news and things like that of like, oh, this is cool, man. And they coming together in the comments and they helping each other out, trying to build a community, man, and help them escape the craziness, you know, and give them some, you know, some escapism, some hope.
So when you say it, basically, as far as we're giving you, you know, you give us that your answer to that question is that I think would you it's safe to say that your influence on like the artists that you described, like you know, the influences like Tribe, De La, Nas, Sade, because
Lupe.
Lupe, all those artists have some type of form of storytelling, and then you think you probably did that unknowingly, like okay, I listen to these guys, they influence me, but at the same time I got my own lane, I'm just writing, but at the same time it's like okay, I mean, it's sometimes it doesn't come like as second nature to you, like okay, I'm just you don't really think about it unknowingly, but at the same time like those cats influence you with your with your style of rhyme.
Yeah, because a lot of them, like, you know, a lot of them have stories in their, you know, in their songs or in their albums, but like I was inspired by that, but I didn't really realize that as I was doing, I just was a fan and like I appreciated what they did and stuff. So far as the storytelling aspect of it, what really inspired me on that is more so outside of music. Is more on the lines
Mm,
of like say anime, video games, manga, comics, you know, like superheroes, sci-fi, stuff like that, and
right,
movies and stuff.
right.
And I was just like, I'm a big fan of that, especially mysteries. Like, what so I've said multiple times in my songs, I was like, if I was a rapper, I would be a detective because that's how my mind works. And I'm always trying to solve things, and I'm looking at like I like when you have to put the clues together and just it just helps you like expand your mind, which is also
Yeah,
a form of escapism, you know. And so that's so I'm you know shout out to the pioneers for one for the influence as well. But like I was like, okay, so I'm inspired by them, but I'm gonna expand on that even more,
right,
like
for
doing
sure.
my own thing that
As your own
ain't
twist
really,
to it.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's part of, once again, it ties back to anime because a lot of my albums are like animes, but they also like comics and they're also like audio visual novels, or it's like part one of them or two of them, this might be a hint, or like may play out like it's a computer game or something. You just never know. But if you're
That's
looking
kind
for
of,
that
that's what I
story,
got from Battle for the Universe with that album right there featuring is it DJ Remy? Is
uh,
that
yeah, my
yeah,
bro Leo DJ Rayme, yep.
yeah, DJ Remy, man. That I mean, yeah, I was really digging that album, man. If you can go into detail about that, because that kind of reminded me of some intergalactic
And the Galactic.
type of stuff where you all come back into the universe or
Mm.
whatever and try to take over the world or whatnot, man. So talk about that for a second.
Oh yeah. You on it, you on it. Yeah. That's shout to my bro DJ Rayman. Yeah, so Battle for Universe, that's like the second part to a series of albums, and the first one was the Universal Journey. and well, me and him, we went to space, and each song is a different planet we went to in a situation that happened, in a scenario, and like that's what make this different. So like when we talking about storytelling and albums, and what makes mine different from the average storytelling is
Right.
when you hear that, you'll be like, oh, okay, dang. So it might be either you enjoy that or you like, huh, so I gotta like listen to the whole album then to understand it. But when you listen to each song, they're individual songs. So you can listen to it and not even know that I'm even
Another
talking
song.
about that.
Yeah,
But when
right.
you
That's
read
right.
it and then you pick up on the lines that's in there in the song, you're like, oh, okay, that's okay, cool, you know. And so, Battle for the Universe is like we return back home, and things were going crazy. Like we got a villain Sledge, and he's doing things in the world, and we got these interesting items like this interesting computer and stuff that does seems like it manipulates reality. It got this little helmet I had on,
Yeah, that's
and
what I say. You performing with some, that's a ill. That's ill. That's really ill. Though. That's really. So look. So are you planning, or have you have like some any real? I mean, I saw some visuals. I saw some. You had some ill visuals. You know
thank
what
you,
I'm
fam.
saying? Yeah. So I saw that. So are you trying to do any like story cinematic type of anything with your music or songs, or just anything, not maybe it's not with the music but just in general, as far as because I know you do the the graphic, I guess the video, whatever's going on, and with the anime included. So are you planning on doing anything along them lines?
Whew. I could say so much, but I ain't even gonna say it. Just though you might be on to something, man. Because it's like you say cinematic universe, like the Marvel
Well,
MCU or
listen, yeah,
something. But
listen,
imagine that in
sorry.
music form,
That's what I'm
That,
saying. Exactly. This
you
is
know what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
talking about. Yeah, for sure, for
But
sure.
like that's part of the rhythm escapism though, because it's done. It's gonna be done in a way where, and that's tying back to like Battle for the Universe. Your question, Raheem, about like coming back on Earth, and there's a issue. There's a villain that's doing certain things, and there's different things that are affecting the digital world as well, and that's affecting the physical world and how people are reacting to it and how we
Yeah.
reacting to it and the part we play in and stuff. And when you start following that story, you like, how can you capture all that in the music? Because it seems like it needs to be more to add to it. And then that's when the visuals come in, and that's when the story comes in, when you actually reading it. And then it was like, man, you might need a, a game or something. And then that's where books come in, and that's where other things come in, because it's all tied into that expands
Yeah.
beyond the music. And that's part
Yeah.
of building this universe of it. So yeah, that's in Battle for the Universe. I've been doing it, but that's the album that really cemented like more of what I'm trying to do, and what me and my crew,
Word.
Two Steps Above the Stars, are trying to do of building this universe, and the issues and the questions that you may have from it, like what is this and who is this person and why is this like that? And it's like once you start asking them questions, you be like, oh, okay, I guess I gotta wait. But like, wait a minute, you might see a certain title of a song, or a certain line I say, like, why does that sound familiar? You'll backtrack to another song, but oh, wait a minute, that was referencing that, and then you start picking them
Right.
breadcrumbs up. Then you start making them
Mhm.
connections, and you can go this way or go that way and stuff. But anywhere
Right.
you go, it's gonna be fun for you. It ain't gonna be like it's a chore. It's gonna be like, man, this is fun. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah,
That's
Scavenger
what's
hunt,
up.
like a
yeah,
scavenger hunt.
yeah, like that. I did something like that before too. By the way, before the album came out,
Okay.
I was doing. Yeah, you gonna be seeing some wild stuff, man. I got some stuff planned, man.
Okay. That's
Good,
what's up.
good, good. That's what's
Yeah.
up. That's what's up.
No,
Now
Looking
we.
forward to it. Looking forward to that.
Appreciate you.
you mentioned poetry in your background.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense when you listen to your music. Now, when you're creating your music, do you consider yourself more of an artist or more of a poet, or you just don't want to be labeled um, either way? I mean, which more
I
would
would
you? Yeah.
I would say that's a good question. Y'all asking some really dope questions, by the way. Appreciate you. I would say I call it sky painting. Like I say, I don't rap. I painted sky
Mm,
blue, because it's
mm,
like
I
for
painted.
certain paintings, you got your different styles. You got your impressionism, you got your abstract style and surrealism and things like that. But even in the midst of those, it's like a specific style going into it. But what I'm doing is you'll see multiple styles in one painting. And so you may be like, yo, this remind me of like some conscious, but some jazzy, but it's nerdy, but it's like this. And it's like a bunch of stuff. So that's how I go into it, where I'm like, the best way it could be like like lyricism, like a rapper or like a poetry or like a artist that's painting something. So I was like, I'm gonna incorporate all that into like this paintbrush. It's gonna be like my microphone. So you could say it's poetry or you could say it's rap. It gets melodic at times, but I just know I'm gonna be painting, and you're gonna visualize what's being painted. You're gonna feel it too, and that's part of that rhythm escapism. So I look at it like that, of encompassing all that I learned from me drawing, me watching anime, reading manga, comics, and and spirituality, things I learned about growing up from God, and incorporating all that into this painting. So that's how I approach the music like that. So I don't even really think of it like it's poetry. Maybe somebody here and here, man, it's like poetry, or somebody here like, yo, this remind me of like this, or like this, or like tribe, or something like that. I was like, everybody gonna get something different from it, and that's a part of art, because not everybody gonna get the same perspective on the the picture.
Yes. We get into storytelling now. It don't have to be any genre, whatever. Like, what's even artists or songs? What's one of your like top 5 like storytelling songs that like got you like you could play like it's brand new
that I can listen to for somebody?
Yeah, just anybody, outside yourself. You could just like top storytelling, like songs like, yo, this is one of the best songs I ever heard was dealing with storytelling. It don't have to just necessarily be hip hop. It could just be rock, whatever, country, whatever the case may be.
Man, whew, that's dope. That's a dope question, because it's so many of them. So I'll name a few that I could think of. There's definitely Lupe, Kick Push.
Okay.
That's a storytelling joint.
Yeah.
That was on the radio, which is crazy to think.
And the visuals too was crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I would have to let me see, Tribe. I Left My Wallet in El Segundo.
Right.
Okay.
Far Side Running.
Yes.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, rest in peace to Dylan, man. Common the Light. Like,
okay.
Common, hey, that's one of my musical heroes, by the way.
Coming up the 20th anniversary of the B album. They have releasing 11 new tracks.
I don't know that. I be disconnected
Yeah.
sometimes, man. Thank you for telling me that.
May 23rd, next Friday.
Yo, that's crazy, man. Like, yo, that's dope, man. Common's still doing it, man. That's inspiring. I'm still getting inspired by the legends,
No, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Another really good storytelling song for me is Love Sick Part 2 by Shingo 2 and Nujabes. Rest in peace. That is man, that one just every time I listen to it, it just hits my soul.
I'm check that out then. You said Nujabes?
Yeah, it's Nujabes, and there's Love Sick LUVSIC Part 2. Man, it's like, even when that beat first started, you feel it, man. It hits your soul. And he's telling a story, and it's very poetic as well. Shingo 2 is a Japanese MC, and he's really talented, man. But it's in English, but it's And nice. Another one is crazy. It's like it's a crazy one, but I'm like, yo, this is crazy. It's Mortal Technique, Dance with the Devil.
Mortal Technique, okay. Out to Mortal Technique, Dance with the Devil, okay.
That's a heavy story though, but I'm like, jeez, man, this is heavy. This is rough, but like, just the fact of being able to tell a story like that is pretty crazy.
Okay.
Let me see. Michael Jackson, Heartbreak Hotel is crazy. I don't know if that counts as a story, but it's like a movie when you watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Heartbreak Hotel, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. Yeah, like I'm trying to think. I would say oh man, it's so many of them, man. I can't really
Real quick, let's transition over to the O Jones Music Festival, because we definitely have to mention that.
Oh yeah, shout out to my bro Oscar Jones, man.
Yeah, it's a festival that's curated for independent and underground artists. That's going to be on demand. If I'm not mistaken, it's May 23rd, or whatnot. And you're participating in that festival, man. So tell us what your role is in this festival.
Well, yeah, definitely shout out to Oscar Jones, man. He's a really good dude. Just doing this off the love of just like supporting good, underground independent artists, man. That's really hard to find. That ain't trying to like, get money out of people and stuff like that. We run across that all the time and stuff. I know you got to make $1, but that's
Yeah.
that's that's truly somebody that's for the love and what y'all doing as well. So that's helping out. And
Sure.
yeah, I've seen for years. He's one of the first people, like even since like 2011 or that's just been like rocking with me and showing love when he was writing for certain websites and stuff, independent hip hop
Right.
sites and stuff. He was like always showing love to my music and rocking with me. And we go back from like he was in Tuskegee growing up and stuff. And when I had moved to Alabama, one of the places I was going to, when I was in Alabama after I left foster care before I moved to North Carolina, my grandma lived in Tuskegee, so I would go down there often and stuff, and that's where my history there as well.
Right.
So yeah, so for him, it's just like I did like a really dope interview that I can't wait to drop and stuff, and we got in depth like we like for this one as well, and it was a long time coming for him, and and I'm gonna get some try to get some really dope footage at one of these shows for him as exclusive and stuff like that. So just that's some of the little things I'm getting together for him and some giving him some music as well to spin and stuff. So yeah.
What's up, man? That's what's up. Oh, Jones.
Yeah,
Jones.
He's real.
Yeah.
That's right. Doing your thing.
That's right, man. And as far as what does the future hold? Well, no. First, I gotta ask, what's your favorite anime? I gotta ask you that.
Yeah. Top three.
Okay.
Lay behind. Okay.
Okay. My top one for one is Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Okay.
My second one would have to be Yu Yu Hakusho.
Okay.
And my third one is, man, that's hard. Like, so between it's one that's like kind of like cult following called Air Gear, and that's really cool. And they ride like they got these skates that got like that's like motorized and allows them go so fast so they can like fly, jump in the air. They fight as well too, ride power lines and stuff like that and stuff, and that's really cool. So between that and Naruto, but I don't know, man. I feel like
So why are you picking those in that order? What makes it like 1, 2, and 3? What is making it like that in that order?
Word. I would say for one, Dragon Ball Z, because that was the first anime that I really like understood that like, man, this really has an impact on me. Growing up, it was crazy because in foster care and stuff, like I was not only going from place to place, I really had time to really make friends like that. And sometimes I was at one school maybe for like a month or two sometimes, and I was like 7, 8, 9, something like that. And so I really had time to like make friends like that and like know how to make friends. So Dragon Ball Z was one of the first things where like I hear somebody talking or something, or like I can get in the conversation and like build a bridge that way of like, oh, you see the episode today, yesterday and stuff, and we printing out pictures from Angel Fire in the library, getting in trouble because we printing out Dragon Ball Z pictures and stuff from the library, tracing them, and stuff like that.
Scott, I'm gonna tell you something. I was a grown man almost in my 30s, late 20s, watching Dragon Ball Z when it first came out. So I was like, it's some storylines in there where the father left the son and left them to grow up by themselves, and he tried to come back in their lives. And so Dragon Ball Z, I know Piccolo was black.
That's like universally known, bro. Yeah. Piccolo's a real. Shout out to Piccolo, bro.
And I think your generation made anime quote unquote cool, because prior to that, everybody used to, anime was like frowned upon, but like
that's
Dragon Ball Z was like the gateway. If you want to put someone on anime, Dragon Ball Z, you just relatable.
You're right, and
Fist
like
of the North Star was my shit though back in the day. Fist of the North Star.
You said something about that.
I think because of that, of like that, and like the it was like the first real time of like understanding like the concept you already kind of know, but like good versus evil. Like when you saw Frieza, you was like, yo, this dude is bad. Like I want him gone. And so like following that and stuff, and then just understanding like Goku, where he came from, of almost like just an orphan basically, where he from when he came from his planet. He was supposed to be sent down here to help destroy Earth, and he ended up becoming like like a hero for the Earth and risk it all for everybody. And that parallels a lot of things, as you know, now things that you can see in life and people that may have played that role in real time.
Right.
That's crazy. So that makes you realize this anime is more than just like, oh, a cartoon. Like you watch, it's like, nah, bro, these are grown people that are writing stories,
Yeah,
not
these
just for
real
kids,
life
but for
stories.
everybody that look
That's
at it and
right.
be like, oh man, this is heavy.
And
like,
look, and shout out to Michael B. Jordan, because he like Michael B. Jordan said, I love anime. And the women was like, oh, he like anime. And they was trying to get it's like, yo, he
yeah,
wanted, like, quote unquote, he wanted new sex symbols in Hollywood. And he's like a big anime guy.
yeah,
And like women are trying to get into anime now, but just because of him.
yeah, man, Creed, bro, Creed, man, like, man, yo, them Creed and the Rocky movies, man. When you really got something that you here to do, like you have a mission and you treating it like that, you going through the training physically, mentally, spiritually as well. Those
Right.
movies and those animes, they can really like help ground you a lot. You know, when you kind of like trying to find your way and stuff, and you know that and God, of course, and you just like trying to balance things, and that ties me into like my second one why I picked Yu Yu Hakusho, because one of the things I call myself a spirit detective, and it's like because it's like you fighting this battle versus light versus dark, and you hear that in my music, but like that's in the real world too, because you know
Real.
if you can just look out and see what's going on in the world, and you
Right.
seeing like there's clearly something going on, and there's a reason that's going on, and people might not want to accept that, but it just
It's
is
real.
what it is. It might be why you stuck where you at until you open your eyes and realize that there's more than meet the eyes, you know. And so, you know, I'm trying to use my talent that God gave me to like, you know, to help break people out of that and wake them up and help them realize what's going on and how we could come together and really like take this thing back, this art form, and help making this world a better place, because the impact that music has on this on your mind and your subconscious, your psyche, and the world as a whole. If we look at hip hop right now, we can't say that's not when people say it's not that deep. It ain't. It's like, bro, you keep saying it ain't that deep while you consistently like your RP him, like, oh man, this is terrible RP. At what point are we gonna accept that there's something going on, you know, and who gonna do something about it? Because the ones that's keeping it that way will do everything they can to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why Yu Hakusho is one of them, because he, you know, spirit detective, so he's fighting against dark forces and stuff, and people may not understand it's there, but he knows it's there, and what it takes to, you know, to fight it, and how you got to train and develop and evolve as a person, your spirit and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons I picked that one as well. So that was just
Right.
looking back to that.
Nice.
So, future endeavors, man. What's on the horizon for SkyBlew, and then also let the people know how they can find you online.
Okay, word. Well, what's in the horizon is the clouds and then the stars. Okay, you know. So that's always.
I know that's right.
But you know, I'm working on a lot of things. I'm really building this universe out. So you start seeing more, like I said, more mediums of like from music to the stories and you know visuals and other things that I can't say too much about, but just stay tuned for that, because
Right.
we go come at it in different angles and different perspectives to add to this story and really you know flesh it out more. So you can see more of that. I'm starting to travel a little more. For a while, I was kind of, you know, at home after COVID and stuff, because it's almost like you have to reset. Like a lot of the promoters
Yeah.
are new and stuff. They're not doing it no more. Or
Right.
venues acting weird, gatekeepers. I mean, you know, it is what it is. But you know, stuff you deal
Yeah.
with.
Sure.
So I had to like make new connections and just like rebuild again. You know, but rebuilding even you know in like a smarter way, and like you know maybe that foundation wasn't as solid as you once thought it was, so you have to
Right.
rebuild.
Sure.
And so you know now I'm you know doing more things. I'm got some shows coming up. I'll be in Detroit on May
Nice.
23rd for and my first time in Detroit, so I'll be there for this
What
anime
up? No.
event. Well, not anime event, it's Glow Taku. They put it together, this Club Revolution, and they basing off this game, like the basing it off the community and aesthetics of this game called Jet Set Radio Future, and Bone Rush Cyberpunk, which is a video game that I had me and my brother Nava Maestro got music on, and that really helped you know expand our reach to a bigger community and stuff. And so they're doing an event based on that, so I'm gonna be out there performing, and
Nice.
then I appreciate you, and then I'll be in in July. 25th through 27th, I'll be in Austin, Texas for this video game event called Classic Game Fest. And it's like they got classic video games that you can buy and that you can play and stuff. And then they got like music that's like video game based music. Cause, more than just anime, and sci-fi and all that. And I do like video game music too, because my music is in multiple video games.
Right.
And so I'll be out there performing me and my bro Sublime Cloud, and then after that I'll be at a Conjutsu, which is like a mixture of video game and anime based convention in Fairfax, Virginia, August 8th and 9th, or 9th and 10th. 8th and maybe 8th and 9th, or 9th and 10th. It's that Saturday and Sunday, so whichever. And so I'll be doing more shows and booking more stuff on that. And and that's stay tuned. I got some multiple projects exclusively. I got multiple projects that I'm working on, so stuff about to start dropping soon. So
nice.
Where do people find you, man? What's your socials? What's your social handles?
Okay, so you can find my albums on Bandcamp. I mean, streaming and all that, but Bandcamp, so you can get the full experience, and you could own the music, you can download it, and you can read the stories in each song. You click in there in the description, you'll see more story piece. So SkyBlew1.bandcamp.com, and it's spelled the way I spell it, with the capital S, capital B all together.
Right.
And 1.bandcamp.com, and then like Instagram SkyBlew Music, Facebook SkyBlew Music, TikTok SkyBlues S at the end of SkyBlew, so SkyBlues Music. And I got X, but I ain't used this since 2017. But you can still follow me on there, because maybe one day I'll get back on it.
That's what's up.
Hey, I seem like you and Michael B. Jordan friend. Side note, have you seen the movie Sinners yet?
Twice.
Me too. Okay, we together. Deuce Club.
Yeah.
It make you feel connected to those characters.
Right. And what we was talking about, the ties into that, because it came out at a real good time, because it's touching up on some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure is. Sure is, man. It sure is, bro.
So one more time, put out your handles one more time, man, because we want to salute you, we want to appreciate you coming out, doing this interview and everything.
Hey, I appreciate
you on Instagram too, man. So
Oh, okay. Yeah. So when I get back on, I'll definitely follow back. I appreciate y'all, man, for taking the time to do this and reaching out, and shout out to my bro Oscar Jones for making that bridge connection, man. Jones Music Fest coming up.
So O Jones Music Fest, curation of independent underground artists, man, from across the country.
Yup.
Dope music. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be on demand. I think it's on YouTube on demand, May 23rd, if I'm not mistaken.
O Jones, man.
So O Jones Music Fest. You can definitely check out SkyBlew. He's going to be on there, man. So you know what I'm saying. Support this man.
If you look for bars and storytelling, man, SkyBlew, man. I listen. I said, okay. And we were talking earlier before the recording.
To it. He got some, like imagination, hope, like you said.
He was good. He was good in my book when you said
rap on the stage with a mic. You know what I mean? So
when you said Tribe and De La, I saw you.
Yeah, you already was.
My boy co-signs the cherry on top.
That's my boy's favorite group is the Tribe. So once you said that, you was co-signed, right?
R.I.P. Fife, man. Fife.
You already know.
Fife. We interviewed Fife. Fife was our homie. Fife was our homie. He still is our homie. Fife. We gave one.
We interviewed Fife.
One of our final interviews he gave with us, he came to the crib. Fife, shout out to Fife and Ross the Roots. He's like Ross Root. We could tell you, Roots was like, yo, he only do 30 minutes. He came to the crib. He was there for like 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yo.
And he was recording. They was recording the final album when we was interviewing them in secret.
We got it from here too. We got it from here. One. You telling me we got it from here?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
This was like 2015. And we was on the west side of ATL. Every time we see Fife, he always showed us love, like birthday parties. Every time we see him, before the interview. But this is the first time we was trying to do a business. Like, hey, can we get an interview? And he was like, and you know who his favorite rapper is? Female rapper was or is Vita from Murder Inc. He said Vita is nice.
Wow, that's great. You just never know with Five. He'll drop some stuff
Right.
on you like, yo, I didn't
Yeah.
even know that. You know,
It's like,
Word.
Vita,
that's a
yeah,
blessing,
so,
man. That's really cool, man.
yes.
Yeah, we
So
go.
we, yeah, man.
Yeah,
So,
I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to be
no,
here,
no,
man.
like,
Yeah, man.
thank you
You
for
know what it
blessing
is,
us,
man.
because
Sky
look,
Blue.
We appreciate your time, brother.
Yeah,
Appreciate your
yeah,
time.
Thank
Taking
you.
time
boy.
out your busy schedule. You know
because
what I'm
look,
saying?
I
10 years
definitely
from
would like to
now,
connect again in the future when I start doing more of this stuff.
Yeah,
We
man,
can
for
come
sure.
out. I can
yeah.
drop some exclusives on y'all and stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know we got
you giving me a Kendrick vibe. Like 10 to 5 years from now, 10 years, 5 years from now, you been on to your Section 80 album or to Pimp a Butterfly. I'm like, damn, we the first ones that
Hey,
got on this.
speaking of
First ones interviewed.
storytelling, boy, Pimp a Butterfly. Yeah, that's a classic,
I'm like,
man. And look, that's a super compliment. So thank you
because
for that,
Yeah.
Kendrick.
when I was doing the research on you and I was looking at you, then I was, I was like, okay. And I was looking at old Kendrick interviews when 2012 and 2010. I was like, damn, you give me that same vibe. Pause, but
Wow, that's
Yeah.
wow.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wild. Man. That's man.
Yeah, man. Yo, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate the interview.
Thank
Appreciate your
you.
time. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna support you. We got the website. O Jones. With O Jones Fest
Oh,
coming
Jones,
up.
man.
So we're gonna get some more light in a minute. So we're gonna be posting the O Jones Fest on the website. So what I mean, we want to salute you, your crew, everybody. Supporting. Appreciate you coming out. What I mean, giving us
Chapel Hill,
Yeah.
And
Auburn,
yeah.
Alabama. You know what I'm saying?
And whatever new project you got coming out, hit us up and
Yeah.
we'll put it on the website, promote you, whatever the case may be. If you want
Yeah.
to come out do another interview and all that stuff, it's all love.
Yeah,
hey,
for
man,
sure.
appreciate
Yeah.
that, fam. Yeah,
You
absolutely.
coming out to the A, man.
I'm trying to come back out there soon. I'm definitely
Okay.
trying to come back out there soon.
Hit us
So,
up. We take it to little 5 points, music, the whole
You're right.
yeah.
word. Hey, like I said, I would love to. I would love to, man.
Word. That's what's up. Yo, Music Life Social. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all.
It is.
Peace,
Yeah.
peace,
All right.
peace.
SkyBlew
Yeah.
within this,
Sky
brother.
Blue.
All right.